Hello, everyone. Today we have the pleasure of speaking with Juan David Vargas, a truly admirable human being and an accomplished professional. Juan is currently a strategic business development representative at Colossyan, where he is at the vanguard of innovative AI implementation in video production. With a rich multicultural background, an MBA from the University of Essex, and a track record of driving innovation and an entrepreneur will, Juan brings a wealth of experience to our discussion today. Thank you, Juan, for joining us.
Thank you for the invitation, Levi. I'm very happy to be here, and I'm very pleased to help everyone to learn more about AI implementations and AI on video.
That sounds wonderful. But please, for the people who's listening to us, can you please introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your background and your role at Colossyan?
Perfect. Yeah, sure. So, my name is Juan. I'm originally from Colombia. I've been living in the last 3 years in London. I won a scholarship to study an MBA at the University of Essex, as you mentioned, because I went to a program called Shartan, where I introduced a product that basically was related to technology as well. Once I get graduated from the university, I did a couple of roles in different countries as well. In London, I work in the US, then I moved back to London, and I joined Colossyan just a couple of months ago. I started this year, and it has been a really nice journey. I work as an strategic BDR. That basically, in my position, what I have to do is reach out potential clients or prospects and show them the value of generating AI in their current process. So yeah, that's me.
Juan, that sounds terrific. But I also see your position as some sort of bridge in between all the companies that want to implement AI for video production, and you help them for the implementation throughout the way. That is fascinating. I would like to hear a little bit more about Colossyan's strategy for implementing AI, or what strategy has worked so far.
So at Colossyan, we have been pivoting. Like when the CEO, a really fun fact is that the CEO is 28 years old. The company has just raised Series A. We just raised 22 million to keep working in our technology. And one of the things that I realized being part of this journey is that their mainly focus was the workplace learning, because we realized that the video production was necessary with a lot of learning and development departments where they have to create video training for their employees, onboarding, and also for inclusivity. So the content, we realized that we should pivot all our strategy to reach out all these type of prospects. So we are basically implementing many sales strategies on reaching out people on by phone, by LinkedIn, so with some automation. So we are using like bots, and they are like reaching out people all the time, but also with a lot of market research.
Really, I could hear this conversation going for hours because that's super fascinating. But one thing that I would like to know is, how did you ensure that the AI strategy aligns with your overall business objectives?
When we talk about the AI strategy, we want to democratize. The mission of our CEO is democratize the video creation. So I think we are aligning with that objectives when we make sure that we are reaching out to the right departments, so the people that actually will use the platform. So I think that is really important, because we can have an excellent product, but if people is not using it, then you can lose it. But that's not our purpose. Our mission aligned with our strategy to make affordable the video production. So instead of having cameras, you will use AI avatars to produce all these training videos.
Yes, I've heard a lot about this, especially from C-suites and thought leaders that would like to give a personalized message to their teams, but they just simply cannot find the time to record a proper video. This is very useful for them. But coming from that point, how do you address ethical considerations with this AI implementation, especially in the video production industry?
That's a really good question. So every time that I talk with a prospect, every time that I reach out a new company, we are very clear in the things that you can do with AI, and especially AI video, and things that you cannot do in AI video. So for example, if someone wants to promote something of gambling, let's say, I have a platform where you can make a lot of money and all these things, we make sure that people are not using incorrectly the technology. So that's the first thing. Or for example, you just mentioned that we, with important people, we can clone and create their AI avatar, right? So we are very like strict with the use of that technology. So for example, people cannot use it to make funs or jokes about the CEO, making the CEO say something that usually the CEO won't say. When we onboard people to our platform, we make sure that they are like following the right procedure and the things that you could do with the technology. So yeah.
Awesome. So there is a clear framework of rules and ethical considerations with all the actors for this implementation being sustainable. I like that. But I would like to know a little bit more about how do you see AI transforming the video production industry, especially in the next 5 to 10 years? Give us your thoughts.
So I have a couple of examples here. I was talking with a guy in the learning and development file like a week ago, and he was telling me, I've been working in learning and development over the last 20 years in my life. And for him, producing training content was a lot of resources, like you have to hire the cameras, you have to write the script, you have to hire the actors. All these things, well, means a lot of money for the business, right? So instead of having all these costs, you can produce everything in-house. And now you can also like translate it to multiple languages. So now it will be available in Spanish, French, in all other these languages. And when I think about it, how this will change, and well, I was talking to him and he says something very clear. Like now everything is possible with this technology. Like I can produce a training in 80% more efficient than the way that I used to do it 20 years ago. So if I think about it, in the next 5 or 10 years, people who doesn't know how to use these technologies, they are going to really get behind, because well, it's not fair that you are producing, for example, a training content and you are using our technology, and there is someone that is not using the technology and trying to produce like the same results. It will take a lot of time and resources, because this is a game changer. And in the next 5 or 10 years, people who don't use these technologies, they really cannot like compete with other companies.
Yes, it makes a lot of sense. There is a lot of people that is nowadays questioning how will AI impact their day-to-day lives. That is already doing it, but also how that might affect all of our jobs and our dynamic. But knowledge is power, and at the end, we're very adaptable, and we should be. And being able to understand how AI is working and how it's helping us will make us be more powerful in order to have more tools to adapt our skills and actually be very successful in the long run. But thank you very much, Juan. I wouldn't like to finish this amazing conversation without asking you your final thoughts, and if you would like to share something else with the people who's watching us or listening us right now.
I think this is very inspiring. Like AI is changing the world, and I think we should all adapt ourselves to new ways that we are living. Same as the pandemic. The pandemic basically changed it all, and now people is all people is online, and there is a huge and vast amount of opportunities everywhere. You just have to find a problem and try to find a solution, and it will be like more interesting if you could use AI to make it happen. So Yeah, that's my advice, that everyone can use like this technology and make the most of it, because at the end of the day, you will have a competitive advantage that no many people in the market is like aware of or thinking of. So just be aware of working on every day something to learn something new about how to use AI.
Juan, those are great thoughts, and thank you so much for giving us the space and the time. But I would like to ask you one last thing. What do you think could be the top three things to keep in mind to ensure a successful AI strategy?
So first thing is identify the problem that you are trying to solutionate.
Mm-hmm.
So in our case is the video production. Second thing, who is going to be your target audience or your ICP? Who is the person that you are like solving that problems? And thirdly, try to make it with something very innovative, right? Like try to think different and out of the box, so you can have like something unique and something that is really difficult to replicate, and yeah, and you will be successful.
Well, Juan, thanks again for your time and for your amazing thoughts, and have a nice day.
And thank you for the invitation, and I really hope that you also have a nice day.